Trevor, thanks for joining me. Earlier this month, RMI was granted an option to acquire a 70% JV interest in some promising exploration projects in Saudi Arabia. To start, can you just talk me through what attracted RMI to pursue these projects initially, and what stands out for you from a geological perspective?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, Alex. And that's correct. We have entered into an option agreement to acquire a 70% interest in a joint venture, which will also include a 30% interest with a local Saudi investor. He's also pretty experienced in mine development and construction. So Saudi's a pretty interesting jurisdiction from the point of view of they have something they've worked on called the Vision 2030, which includes quite a significant component or program around mining reforms. So they've got a new mining act. There's facilitation, which includes things like mining licenses being granted within 60 days from application, which is really very quick compared to other jurisdictions. And in addition to that, it's been exploration in the areas that our two projects are located in that are part of the joint venture. One is called Wadi Salama, so there's a license been approved for that project. There's some rock chip samples. There's some pretty interesting geology associated with this project. The rock chip samples were grading between 3 and 4 grams per tonne, so provide some good targets straight up. And we also, for drilling that is, and we also have Shab Marcan, which is in application, and recent rock chip samples there were as high as nearly 14 grams per tonne. So there's probably some further surface sampling to be done and some geochemistry on both projects to get into targets for drilling. And we've also been using AU King's exploration manager to recently travel to site and do some further work and in fact attend a conference there that sort of further expanded on some of the things I've spoken about with the facilitation for the development of the mining industry in Saudi Arabia, which is all about moving beyond reliance on oil. And so we see some great opportunities there. There appears to be some pretty significant funding available once you get through that discovery phase. So finance for project development is always pretty critical and can be difficult for juniors and small to mid-cap companies. So I think we've got the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia providing some pretty significant financial support too when it's appropriate. Pretty excited about the opportunity to do some work in Saudi Arabia.
Thanks, Trevor. Now, broadly speaking, there appears to be some real momentum around Saudi Arabia, particularly for microcap explorers such as RMI. In your view, what is it about Saudi Arabia that makes it an enticing jurisdiction to work in?
As I said, some pretty good programs that they've initiated, not just focused on mining. There's other programs around logistics and other, green energy and these sorts of other aspects to what the Saudi Arabian kingdom is looking to achieve. So, as I mentioned, though, in the mining area, there's a relatively new mining act, which is all about trying to facilitate the development or the exploration and development of, new mines and facilitation around approvals and in particular funding. So we see that for a company like us, where we're in that sort of microcap space. But we can bring, a lot of expertise to the table, and that's what these supportive sort of elements to the Saudi Arabian mining legislation are about. We think we can bring, like I said, some expertise to the table, sort of work away on what appear to be, to us, some pretty interesting projects that we are part of our JV with a local Saudi group, and So, we think there's opportunities there to be able to create a lot of value, subject to exploration success. But, we think this is a good opportunity for RMI.
And just finally, Trevor, I'd like to shift to your Mpanda project in Tanzania, where RMI has over 1,000 square kilometres of tenure, and recent sampling strongly indicates there is lots of copper and gold, with striking surface rock chip sample results released in September, including 36.7 grams per tonne gold, 11.89% copper, and 20.98 grams per tonne gold, and 4.36% copper. Given there is small-scale mines across Mpanda, with the Katabi processing plant nearby, what opportunities does RMI see for this project?
It's a good point. We don't want to lose sight of the fact that the company has a number of other assets in its portfolio, and Mpanda happens to be something that's pretty exciting. Two commodities that have gold. Obviously, everybody knows. That's a very strong precious metal at the moment in terms of its pricing and demand, and copper is a fantastic sort of outlook in terms of, the growth in particularly electrification of mobility and these sorts of elements. Or aspects. And so I think, we still see Mpanda as being a really exciting project for us. We have over 10 prospects through the Mpanda project, over a fairly significant strike length. Not all of the prospects have shown, that they have gold and copper present. And we just think the exploration potential there for further discovery is significant. The fact that there is artisanal mining or small-scale mining going on and processing at the Katabi processing facility shows that, even at a surface level, you could operate something based around the presence of pretty high-grade surface samples, as you just mentioned, that, opportunities around small-scale mining and processing to get into some sort of gold production with low capex, and could be something that the company will, certainly the company will have a look at, and maybe something that we will plan to do in the future. And even offer the opportunity to process ores from some of those other small-scale miners in the region. So it's a really interesting project. Further to that, as I mentioned, the exploration potential, we think is great. To see such extensive mineralisation says that, at depths, we're really looking for a pretty significant host system. So, whether that's just solely gold or copper gold, remains to be seen, but we think with some deeper holes, probably some further work around targeting about where those holes should be. We think the exploration potential on Mpanda is very exciting.
Thanks, Trevor. Appreciate the update today, and all the best for 2025.
Great. Thanks, Alex.